Okay, bassoon players, this is your video on how to assemble your bassoon. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to pull out this piece of the bassoon first. This is called the boot joint. You'll notice that it has on the bottom two little holes here. We are going to use that in just a little while, but you'll want to take that out first. And then what you're going to do is you're going to pull out your tenor and long joint at the same time. These two pieces look like this. And when they're in your case, they're right next to each other. Okay? However, they do come apart because they are not completely connected. And I'll show you what I mean. So you can grab them both, but just be very careful because there's some long metal rods here, and if you put too much pressure, they can bend. But they do come apart, as you can see here. Now, if they do come apart, that's okay. You can put them back together. Okay, I'm going to show you how they go. Just like that. And how you know if you've done it right is you can see that there is, right here on the top, there will be a little handle that swivels, and there will go down into a hole right here. You can see that hole? And it goes right into the hole there. They line up right there. So I'm holding them together, and I'm also holding my boot joint. Now, if you look at the top of the boot joint, it has a small hole and a large hole. The bottom of my tenor and my long joint have also a small and a large. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to match those up. Yeah, I put those right together like that. And then I'm going to put it down on the floor. I'm going to push down my tenor joint first. Then I'm going to push down my long joint, like that. And now they're together. Okay. This right here is the front of the bassoon where your fingers are going to go around when you play them. I have the long joint right here on my left. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the bell of the bassoon. Notice that it has a key right here. I'm going to push that key down, and I'm going to put that on top of the long joint. I'm going to twist and push, and at the same time, I'm going to line this up with another metal piece right here. See how it goes one continuous long line down that rod? And that's why I wanted to push it down, because if I didn't push it down, then they might touch each other and they might actually push each other out of the way and bend. Okay, so it's very important that on the bell, push down this, and then you can twist and push the bell onto the long joint. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my bocal. And on my bocal, you notice how there's cork here on the end. I'm going to find this place right here on the tenor joint. I'm going to line it up right here. Okay? Then I'm going to twist and push until it goes down. And let me show you this. You'll see here that the bocal has a little hole here, right there. And this is going to line up with what we call the whisper key, which is this white pad right here. So the hole in the bocal must line up with the whisper key. Be very careful when handling your bocal because they do bend. Now, on all of these parts, there were cork, and if you notice, the pieces went together pretty well, but if they are not going together and it seems to require an excessive amount of force, you'll want to use some of your cork grease for that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our seat strap. It's a piece of leather with one hook at the end. I'm going to come down here to the bottom of my boot, and I'm going to hook it onto one of the holes at the bottom of the boot. This one here is a little bit bent, so, okay. Now I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna put the seat strap behind me and I'm going to sit on it on the chair. And what that does is while I'm sitting on the seat strap, it supports the weight of the bassoon. And notice that I have the bocal pointing towards me. Now, traditionally, when you put together your bassoon, it does take some time to practice doing it correctly. You'll want to do it as many times as you can. Take it apart and put it together. As far as instruments go, this one has some of the most steps and can be a little bit complicated. So we want to make sure that we do it correctly. So watch the video several times and then just go piece by piece until you have the entire bassoon assembled correctly.